Good evening.
Oh, you can do better than that. Come on now. Good evening.
Good evening. And welcome to this miracle on Boulder's Highway 36. Would you please bow with me in a word of prayer? Almighty God, as we gather together in this assembly this evening, we lift up our eyes to the hills from whence comes our help. To the creator of the ends of the earth, we look to you in these unbelievably challenging times. As we reflect upon the dream of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we thank you for his life and the lives of many others who were in the movement that paid the price for the freedom of all people. We thank you that the beloved community of Boulder has come together in the spirit of brotherhood, that today, Black people and white people, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants, Catholics, and people of all cultures and all religions can come together, stand together, and fellowship together as one. As we remember the past, Lord, help us to embrace and celebrate the present and look forward to the future. Help us, oh God, to never, ever forget the price that has been paid for the freedoms that we enjoy today. Oh, how grateful we are for how far we've come, ever, ever mindful that we still have a long way to go. Thank you, Lord, for what we're witnessing in this historic moment. God, we thank you for everyone gathered under the sound of my voice. I pray that you would bind us together in the spirit of unity and the bond of peace. As we let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado, realizing that the dream still runs through Boulder. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. This is my prayer. In the matchless name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So what a pleasure to be in this space with the greatness. Thank you, State Representative Junie Joseph, for leading this legislative effort. I'd like to offer thank you to both houses of the Colorado State Legislature for your unanimous affirmative vote. Thank you to local elected officials that we have present with us today. Thank you to the University of Colorado Boulder's campus for being our partner in this evening's event. I would like to thank my partner in crime from Denver, the president of NAACP Denver branch, President Sandra Young is in the house. I'd like to offer a special thank you to a couple of our own, Madeline Strong-Woodley and to Graham Hill. These two indomitable warriors stayed with this project from ideation until today's celebration. It's an honor for NAACP Boulder County to welcome you here to celebrate and to contemplate the naming of a street for a king. Today, we celebrate this accomplishment with uninhibited joy. We proclaim that something beloved is happening here. You know, since the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway signage was installed, I've had many conversations, not all recorded. That's a private joke, LOL. But conversations about what community values might be subliminally registered by a glance from a motorist, a biker, or a walker. Now, whereas the majority of the feedback was expressions of pleasure, joy, welcoming, I would, however, like to share a couple of comments that invites a slightly deeper thought. The first being a rhetorical question, and it profoundly asks simply, if we really want the beloved community. The other, a personal statement, and I quote, I was excited to learn that Boulder was getting an MLK sign, but I can't help but wonder if we deserve it, end quote. I share the contents of these conversations as a reminder that celebration begs contemplation. I conclude is aspirational. And yes, indeed, the dream does run through Boulder. So now, please join me in welcoming our guide for this afternoon's tour along the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway through Boulder with the famed Regent and entrepreneur Wanda James.
Oh my goodness. So I was sitting there last night and it dawned on me, and I kept trying to think, why was this date resonating in my head? And it dawned on me that it was 20 years ago yesterday that I moved back to Boulder, Colorado. My husband brought me to Boulder in August of 2004 because he had heard me speak about CU and Boulder and how much this place has meant to me and how much it has impressed on my heart and how much it molded me into who I was and who I would become and all the great things that have happened. And I told him how hard it was being a student here because, you know, I was born a poor black child. And so I couldn't go to all of the places that all of my classmates would go to, which was the Boulderado for happy hour because I couldn't afford it. We couldn't go to all the different places where folks were going out and dancing and drinking at night because I couldn't afford it. And so he'd heard me talk about that for a bunch of years, so he surprised me with a trip back to Colorado. And I had not been back to Colorado since my graduation in 1986. So we spent this amazing weekend here, and it was beautiful, and it was sunny, and Boulder was doing its thing, and we were sitting at the Boulderado having a few drinks, maybe more than a few drinks. And he looked at me and he said, would you ever consider moving back to Colorado? Nobody had asked me that question, ever. Because when I left here, you know, I had my degree and I was much too big for staying in Colorado, you know. I had a degree, had things to do. And I said, you know what? Yeah, I would. We went back to LA. We sold our house in about 3 days. And it was the top of the market then. And we moved up to Grape and 9th Street here in Boulder, Colorado. Came home. Within less than a month, I found myself on the alumni board at the University of Colorado, the place that I love so deeply and so dearly. And then the journey began. I ran a number of races. I met this guy named Jared Polis. I met a lot of other people in politics. And I also had the opportunity here in Colorado to meet this guy, 2007 that a friend of mine from Chicago said, why don't you go to this fundraiser for our senator because he's going to have a president, and his name was Barack Hussein Obama. So the reason why I'm telling that story is because this amazing state, and more importantly, this amazing place, has given me so much, so much. And the honor of my lifetime was actually being elected regent at the University of Colorado. So to be able to be here and to get to know all of the amazing people sitting up here, and so many of you, when I was asked to come and be the MC tonight, I was more than honored. And more than honored that we're doing it for the naming of the Martin Luther King Highway. I'm also amazingly pleased because I remember hearing a podcast years ago about how Martin Luther King boulevards and highways are always in predominantly Black areas. Because so many folks felt like having a Martin Luther King Boulevard in Beverly Hills or down Rodeo Drive or somewhere like that might be odd, and so many folks didn't really appreciate it. So I want you all to know how wonderful it feels and how amazing it feels that in this community, we appreciate not just Martin Luther King for being a Black leader, but Martin Luther King Jr. for being an American leader. And with that, our very first featured speaker here is Representative Junie Joseph. And I've had the great, absolutely, you can clap for Junie, go ahead. I have had the great pleasure of getting to know Junie through trials and tribulations. Sometimes it's hard to be an elected official anywhere, and sometimes it's hard to be an elected official in Colorado. And especially somebody who comes to us from foreign shores that makes America home and makes Boulder home. And I am so proud that not only did she make it home, but she chose a place of leadership. She chose to speak. She chose to be strong. She chose to be a part of our beloved community. So ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring Representative Junie Joseph up to the stage because it's her work for the reasons that we are here today. And I just want you to know that I am proud of you. Yes. And I am proud of the work that you do. So come give us some good stuff up here.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It is an honor to be here with all of you. I appreciate the acknowledgement, but I want to make sure that you know the reason why I'm here, it's because of the great work of the NAACP and everyone else who came before me who has done the work. So it is not just me who has done this work. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude again to the Boulder County NAACP for hosting this remarkable event, celebrating a pivotal moment in our community's journey toward justice and equality. I also want to extend special thanks to all the sponsors and legislators. Senator Marchman is also up there. So thank you for voting in support of this initiative, and to community members, Graham Hill, who has been an invaluable ally, and all the Black community members and leaders who fought, bled, and died to make today's experience possible. And also thank you to Honorable Wilma Webb for being here. Yay. Thank you. And also I want to make sure I give special thanks to you. Thank you for being present. This work could not have been done without your support. Together we will forge a stronger future. Today we gather not just to honor a man, but to embrace a legacy that has woven itself into the fabric of our society. As we dedicate this highway to the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr., we're reminded of his unwavering commitment to justice, equality, and love. Dr. King stood as a beacon of hope during a time of deep division. His dream extended beyond the African American community. It was a vision for all of humanity, a nation where character, not color, not the way you speak or the way you sound, define our worth. His words inspired generations to believe in the possibility of a world where justice prevails. As we recall his powerful I Have a Dream speech, we remember that these were not just words, but a clarion call urging us to envision a society where freedom and equality are reality for everyone. This highway now bearing his name symbolizes the journey we have traveled and the road that still lies ahead. It serves as a constant reminder of both the progress we've made and the work that remains. Let us reflect on Dr. King's courage and sacrifice. He once said, "Life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others?" As we dedicate this highway today, let's commit to answering that question with our actions. In naming this highway after Dr. King, we do more than honor his memory. We pledge to uphold the principles he championed. We affirmed our commitment to a future where equality and justice are all lived experiences for all. May this highway inspire us to continue the vital work of building a society where freedom, justice, and love are the cornerstone of our existence. Again, I am deeply honored to be here with you, and I think about why I do this work and why I do this work in Boulder. When I think about my life's journey, I think about how I make it here. I don't know, but this is where God placed me, and I do this work, and I'm grateful to do it. I'm happy to do it every day. And I have been reflecting, even with this coming election, I do this work because of the young people. I am old enough now to understand life's realities, but young people still have hope. They have hope for a better future. And it is my job, and it is the job of each and every one of you, to lay the foundation and the groundwork for them. So it is an honor again to be here with all of you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Representative Joseph. That was fantastic. So I don't believe that Councilwoman Taisha Adams is still here, is she? Which, In and out. Oh, she's in and out of meetings. So we have contributing speakers coming up. Is Marta here? Oh, there she is. There we go. I'm looking over at different things. It is an honor to bring Marta Lagusa to the stage. Come on up and see me. Our Colorado, Commissioner, I was looking at the other chancellor here, our commissioner for this area, and we are thrilled to have her with us today. And please.
Buenas tardes, buenas noches. Mi nombre es Martita Luchamin. Soy una comisionada aquí del condado de Boulder y es un honor realmente para estar aquí presente con ustedes y compartir una noche tan importante para todos. My name is Marta Luchamin. I'm a county commissioner here in Boulder County, and it's an honor to be with all of you on such an important evening here in Boulder County. A lot of great stories start with CU. A lot of great stories of how did you get to Boulder, what made you talk about and insert CU. And so it's an honor to be here with all of you on the stage as well, and with you, community, to celebrate and to start talking about how Boulder and Boulder County can be a different story into the future when we base our experience, our knowledge, and history in the contributions of all people. And remember, not just the contributions, but the occurring experiences that also are connected to communities of color. I'm delighted to be here this evening on behalf of the Boulder County Commissioners to honor the memory of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. through this celebration of the newly dedicated Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway in Boulder. May driving past the new mile marker signs with Dr. King's name be a reminder to all of us of his enduring legacy to the world. I'm grateful to all the folks who've done this work to make this evening even be possible. As an elected leader and a woman of color, I'm honored to have the great responsibility shared with representatives like Representative Junie Joseph to advance a racial equity agenda, to advance justice. This includes representation in the county's built environment, like the new highway dedication, all the way through how county programs and services are designed, offered, and resourced, and how public money is spent. At the Boulder County government, race matters. We center in our equity work because we know historically and currently, race is the biggest predictor of disproportionate outcomes and disparities in the United States of America. We support the creation and adoption of fully inclusive, anti-racist, and multicultural policies at a state and local level, and believe it is the moral responsibility of the county and its employees to interrupt institutional racism. In that vein, I will continue to attend events and programs that support equitable outcomes in Boulder County, knowing that there's always more work to be done. In March's Black History Month proclamation, the Boulder County Commissioners congratulated and thanked Representative Joseph for her leadership as a prime sponsor of the Colorado General Assembly's resolution that created the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway. And I'd like to conclude my remarks by reiterating my gratitude as well to Representative Joseph. This work is hard. Choices have to be made. And Rep. Joseph, you have made the choice and continue to make the choice to work for community at a state level, and I am grateful. Thank you all.
And please forgive me, 20 years ago I didn't need glasses, and I still act like I don't need glasses, and so I'm doing my best to read the very tiny words on this page. So we would like to bring up Madeline right now. Here she comes.
We have a special presentation that we're very, very proud of. And as soon as my sound person, the technical person is ready, we hope you enjoy it. Volume. Volume. Thank you.
With signs and chants, we'll march and sing, honoring the dream, let freedom live. From the valley to the peaks, we raise our voice. In unity we find hope, we rejoice. Let the bells love and peace, this community will grow. Our existence, where we'll mark the day, and not God the King's name will light the way. Where we'll mark the day, and God the King's name will light the way. Together, we'll light the way. Together, we'll light the way. All wanna join us. Let's make a stand in the spirit of love. Hold hands. Honoring the dream, let freedom live. From the valley to the peaks, we raise our voice. In unity we find hope, we rejoice. Let the bells ring out, let the echoes flow. For love and peace, this community will grow. Our existence, where we'll mark the day. And God the King's name will light the way. Together as one, we'll rise and sing. All follow this road, let the joy take wing. Let the bells ring out, let the echoes flow. For love and peace, this community will grow. So come and join us, let's make a stand. In the spirit of love, we'll hold hands. Our victory sits where we'll mark the day. And God the King's name will light the way. Together, we'll light the way. Together, we'll light the way.
I really didn't realize we had that many pictures. But it's a very, very special gratitude and honor to the people that made this happen. And I just have a couple. I'd like Nyasha James Davis to join me here, please. She hates this, I know, and I love it. I want to present this to you. This is to you and her partner in crime, Stella. If you would accept those on behalf of the both of you. This is a young lady that made these beautiful programs happen. Just made everything come together. She is exceptional. She is, she wants you to turn around. The plaques. She's exceptional in everything she does, in everything she does. And I just want to encourage her to keep on doing what you're doing. I just love you dearly. And you accept that on behalf of Stella. Stella's in Memphis and was up very late last night. But thank you for all you do. Y'all give it up for Nyasha. I always do this, and everybody hates it, and I don't know why. I just love it all the more. So I'm going to ask Junie to come and join me, please. Oh, you definitely deserve it. For your outstanding work, and your drive to just keep going. Marta said earlier, this is hard work. It is hard work.
Thank you so
and
much.
so we're so honored for your work. Thank you. Stay encouraged. And then this one I know is just a total surprise. Graham, could you come up here with me? Now you know why you couldn't see it. Graham Hill is one of the hardest working men in show business, like James Brown. I said that with that, yeah. But yes, you are exceptional. I'm so honored to have worked with you and to get to know you. And you just nonstop. Just keep it up, because you got more to come. There you go.
This doesn't happen without Madeline. She's the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Give it up for all of them. They are exceptional. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Did I take care of it? You did.
Reverend, thank you for the glasses. I can see. Oh my gosh. There's words. So because Councilwoman Taisha Adams is doing the work of the people, and I love that, you all can give her a hard time, because Miss Taisha Adams, her very first job out of college was working for me in Los Angeles. She worked at our very first restaurant called the Jamaican Cafe on Santa Monica Boulevard. And we had the great pleasure of hiring her as a very young graduate, and blast with her during that time. And when she called me and told me she was moving to Boulder, and she was living on the East Coast and doing her big city things, and I said, have you been to Boulder? She said, yeah, I love it. I love to rock climb and yoga. And so now she is a councilwoman, so I am so proud of her. It's amazing how Boulder brings all the pieces of your life together. It's just amazing place. So speaking of pieces of my life, one of the very first people that we got the chance to interview for me as a brand new regent, well, actually it was a year and a half into being a brand new regent, was the new chancellor for University of Colorado Boulder. And this was a big, big deal for us. We know how important our flagship is. We know how important it was going to be able to choose somebody that was going to be able to embody what we have done for the last 148 years at this great university, but be able to give it a new and clear vision that is encompassing and inclusive and equitable, which was a big job. There were a record number of applicants for this position. And as regent, we don't hire the chancellors, we hire the president, but our president wanted the regents to get to know who he was thinking of during this process. So we got to interview Chancellor Schwartz. And when we walked away from the interview, everybody in that room was sure that we had found the right chancellor for the University of Colorado and to see us moving forward. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that or not. I'm not sure if you were supposed to know that, but yeah, you were pretty unanimous. But more importantly, over the last few months of getting to know Chancellor Schwartz, Justin, he has been at all of the things that make the University of Colorado unique. He has been there for Black students, for Latino students, for women, for LGBT. And I got to tell you, it was the honor of my lifetime to have him show up at the Naval ROTC fourth class midshipman graduation. As you may know, that was where I started my career, was being a graduate of the Naval ROTC unit at the University of Colorado. And this was the first time that we had a chancellor come to the fourth class, or the new midshipmen who were coming in, and their families were thrilled to see him. I was thrilled to have him there, just as I am thrilled to have him here tonight. Chancellor Schwartz.
It gives me great joy to be part of a community that is weaving Dr. King's name into our daily lives via a street that so many of us walk, bus, bike, and drive. I'm also especially pleased how Chosen is one of the main arteries that connects Boulder to our campus. Can now take a moment and reflect on Dr. King's actions and be reminded of their own role in creating the world we want. I really also hope to see many of you on campus at our MLK convocation this coming January. So across the United States, there are about 1,100 streets named for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. That's 1,100 opportunities to utter the name of the civil rights leader who poured his life and ministry into standing up for equity, justice, and freedom, not only for Black Americans, but truly for all Americans. It's 1,100 opportunities to recognize a man who inspired others to rally behind the disenfranchised beyond the United States, all around the globe. Yet despite 1,100 reminders, I will venture a guess that in all of those 1,100 places, there remains Black and brown individuals who are subject to daily injustices, who are treated as less than simply because of the color of their skin, who are paid less than their white counterparts, or languishing among fewer opportunities, who attend schools that don't provide the same advantages for students working to better themselves, who simply want to have for themselves and their children a fair shake, folks being held back by the quicksands of racial injustice and economic injustice. So while today's dedication is truly a cause for celebration, I hope it is also a call to action, an opportunity for our community to create the society that Dr. King worked so hard for 6 decades ago. Dr. King is remembered as an incredible orator who advocated for nonviolent approaches to obtain justice. That is true. But it also remains a critically incomplete depiction of what he did. Dr. King spoke of his dream of a just world, and he called for us to act. His message was clear that we must do. So let us remember his words, yes, yet we must also remember that he led marches, he led boycotts, he led sit-ins. He led through action. And as we honor him today, we cannot stop at words and street signs. Let's not make this moment a performative exercise. If we are truly paying tribute to Dr. King, we must do so through our actions every day. We must do so with intentionality, and we must do so with humility. And we must ensure that our focus is on outcomes and not just imagery. One of my favorite old Japanese sayings is that vision without action is a daydream. Let's not let Dr. King's dream be only a daydream. At CU Boulder, we are committed to actions to create a more equitable and just world for everyone. But we cannot succeed in isolation. So I'm calling on all of us to work hand in hand to make Boulder a place where everyone can live their dream. Diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging, justice, ensuring full standing for everyone within our community is vital and necessary work for every public institution, every community member across the nation. And I am confident that when we work together with a focus on lifting up our community, we can ensure that the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway in Boulder, Colorado is a starting line and not a finish line. So in years to come, when all of us see that sign, I hope we can be proud of the actions we took to form and sustain an inclusive and just Boulder. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. I would like to thank Mr. Michael Williams and the music that you've all been enjoying this afternoon. Thank you for being here. And I wanted to thank him for the music piece that we had right before I introduce our keynote speaker, because our keynote speaker is musical and powerful and Black. I met Dr. Rabaka 20 years ago. He and I had the great pleasure of being mentored by William King, Professor William King. He was a professor of African American Studies here at the University of Colorado for 42 years. He was my professor when I was 18 years old. And I tell the story about Dr. King because Dr. King made us proud of being Black. When we came to Dr. King's class, we might have wanted to sit in the back, slouch down in our chairs, not always pay attention. Dr. King was having none of that. He made us sit up, he made us pay attention, he made us ask questions politely. If he saw us on campus, we straightened up, walked right, hit our weed. We absolutely wanted to be the people that Dr. King saw us as. We saw ourselves in his eyes as people who were worthy and people who would go on to be leaders, not only at the university level, not only in the state, but nationwide. When I had the chance to meet Dr. Rabaka, he had locks, lots of locks. And he was bright-eyed and ready to take on the challenge of the University of Colorado Boulder. Little did I know then, in meeting him, how much of a change he would bring to my university, how much of the fabric he would continue to create of this amazing place. And not only the fabric that he wove of the students that he has mentored in the last 20 years. Because one day there will be a student sitting here saying when she was 18 years old that Dr. Rabaka made her proud of being Black and strong and worthy. And when I talk about the fabric of which he weaved through this university, he also weaves amazing fabric every time I see him because he's always dressed so nice and really clean all the time, all the time. So ladies and gentlemen, there is not a better and a more appropriate keynote speaker to talk at the dedication of the Martin Luther King Jr. Highway than Dr. Rylan Rabaka.
Thank you. You kind of embarrassed me.
I want to make one correction. introduction. I am here as a student tonight. I am in the presence of greatness, the Honorable Wilma Webb. And Mayor Emeritus Wellington Webb. And so truthfully, I'm merely the opening act. I am not the keynote. I'm just going to try to make it warm. I hope something I say can honor you all in your presence here. I'm a student of you all. You all have inspired me so profoundly. And I mean that very sincerely. And I hope that I can just open it up just a little bit. Right? I'm just gonna open it up a little bit. But y'all know how I do. Welcome to Boulder. Welcome to Boulder. Let me begin by saying thank you, NAACP Boulder County. You all have taken in the prodigal son of Boulder, and I thank you. You all are family now. We are extended family. You know how we do. And I really appreciate you, and I thank you for this opportunity to speak here today. But again, as I said, I am so geeked out to be in the presence of the Honorable Wilma Webb that I'm going to try to move on through mine a little bit quicker than I normally do so that I can get somewhere and sit down and learn something. Is that okay? Yeah. Deep in my heart, I do believe someday, some way, somehow, we shall overcome. The philosopher and theologian Josiah Royce first coined the term, the beloved community, in his 1913 book, The Problem of Christianity. However, it was the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. who popularized the term during the Civil Rights Movement. Dr. King gave the beloved community concept a deeper meaning by extending it and applying it to African Americans and their allies, non-violently fighting for freedom and democracy in the 1950s and 1960s. For Dr. King, the beloved community was not a dream or utopian goal to be confused with the Bible passage about wolves and lambs and leopards and goats all living together in peace and harmony. And for any of my Bible readers, that's going to be Isaiah 11:6. Hallelujah. Instead, the beloved community is a realistic and achievable goal that can be brought into being by people deeply committed to non-violently transforming themselves and society. The beloved community is the consecrated place where each of us offers up the best of ourselves in the service of all humanity without regard to race, gender, class, sexual orientation, or religious affiliation. The beloved community. Amen. Dr. King's concept of the beloved community was international. It extended far beyond the borders and boundaries of the United States. He envisioned a community where people across the globe join together and take care of and share in the wealth of our world. The beloved community, in the beloved community, poverty, hunger, homelessness are eradicated because selfishness is replaced by selflessness. Loving kindness and compassion are the norm in the beloved community. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Is my mic on? A sense of wonder and a welcoming spirit pervades the beloved community. You know, Brother Chancellor, sometimes I tell people I work at the University of Colorado at the beloved community. Racism and sexism and all forms of discrimination, bigotry, and prejudice are denounced and replaced by millions and millions of open hearts and open minds that welcome the beautiful diversity of humanity. In the beloved community, international disputes are resolved by peaceful conflict resolution and reconciliation of adversaries. instead of xenophobia, militarism, and war. For those of us with unquenchable commitments to continuing the fight for freedom. For those of us deeply disturbed by what is going on in our global warming and war-torn world. And for those of us who desperately search for solutions to our most pressing problems, the concept of the beloved community remains relevant and continues to resonate. It is a beautiful and powerful alternative to the social decay, the political divisiveness, and the environmental destruction that haunts and harasses us daily. For Martin Luther King, the beloved community was an integrated society, an America that was no longer racially segregated. He also believed that along with racism, poverty and militarism were the greatest impediments to the creation of the beloved community. Building on Dr. King's conception of the beloved community, now that we are living in a desegregated and awkwardly integrated society, racial integration is no longer the ultimate goal of the beloved community. The beloved community of the 21st century must be based on radical inclusivity, meaning it must be a sacred and safe place where all are welcome, respected, and protected. Everyone is included and no one is excluded. Like our idol, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we need to have a dream. Lord have mercy. And we dream of building a beloved community right here in Boulder, Colorado. And this highway designation, this is not the end. This is only the beginning. We should work a little harder. We should roll up our sleeves. Work it every time you see the sign. We should work a little harder. You know, this is an aside. Just let me have a little fun with them tonight. I'm not going to embarrass you, President James. NAACP, Boulder County, are you with me? Yeah. So every time I stop at the red light, I get happy. You know why? Because Gary Morgan created the stoplight. African-American scientist created the stoplight. And so every time I see it's red, gold, and green, I don't think I need to say anything else. The beloved community knows that another world is possible. A world where Latinx folks, Native Americans, Asian Americans, African Americans, and European Americans finally come together and work together to rescue and reclaim our humanity and achieve a multiracial, multicultural, multilingual, and multireligious American democracy. Let's make Martin Luther King's dream a reality by building the beloved community right here, right now in Boulder, Colorado. Another way and another world is possible, but only if we are willing to work for it, only if we are willing to commit ourselves to making whatever sacrifices are necessary to bring the beloved community into being. I end where I began by saying, deep in my heart, I do believe. Oh, Lord, I better stop. Okay. And now for the keynote speaker. Let me introduce the keynote speaker. And I say this with so much sincerity because, again, I'm a student. That's one of the things I like about being a professor. In fact, my brother, the chancellor, already knows this. I joked with the chancellor and said, you know, the only reason I got the PhD because I found out this was the job where they would pay me to read books. And right up at I ain't mad at you, bro. I'm not bad. So here we go. I'm gonna just keep it together. If I can just get, okay, here we go. The Honorable Wilma J. Webb is a lifetime public servant and leader who served the nation with distinction, respect, and admiration by successfully delivering caring, substantive law and committed service and leadership to people. She dedicated her life to helping all people by giving of herself as a six-term Colorado State Representative, who was the first woman to represent House District 8 in the Colorado General Assembly, serving from 1980 to 1993, and the first woman United States Department of Labor, Region 8 Secretary's Representative, serving from 1997 to 2000, appointed by President William Jefferson Clinton and U.S. Secretary of Labor Alexis Herman. Region 8 includes the states of Arizona, Colorado, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Utah, and Wyoming. She is the first woman to provide an active role as Denver's First Lady, serving from 1991 to 2003. She is also the first African American woman to serve in each of these positions. As a state representative of the Colorado House of Representatives, her remarkable record includes her successful Dr. King's widow, and Governor Richard D. Land founding the Martin Luther King Jr. Colorado Holiday Commission in 1985, where she served as its first chairperson and president for 18 years. She successfully carried a bill granting the Colorado Civil Rights Commission and Division the authorization to invoke subpoena power in cases charging discrimination. This is serious. She, along with other national leaders, carried bills to impose sanctions on businesses that did business with apartheid South Africa until political prisoner Nelson Mandela, who fought for freedom for everyone in his native South Africa, was released from prison. The apartheid system was abolished, and he later did become the first black president of the newly established government of South Africa. She carried legislation, and when it was not popular to do so, she disallowed discrimination against any person because of sexual orientation. She fought for the rights of women, for inclusion in business opportunities for minority and women businesses, and she fought to disallow discrimination of physically challenged people. She also successfully carried a bill to enact the first and only comprehensive anti-drug abuse program in Colorado, providing for drug treatment to people who are afflicted with substance addiction. She was the first minority woman from the House to serve on the House Joint Budget Committee, the state's most powerful 6-member committee. She participated in writing Colorado's multi-billion-dollar budget, influencing and impacting financial policy and decisions for Colorado's 20 departments of government. She successfully carried many other significant bills which became law. She created legislative bills to enhance education. She was also the first Colorado State Representative to carry legislation to provide the compulsory full-day kindergarten since World War II, where full-day kindergarten was discontinued sacrificially because of that war. She also carried legislation to provide for education to be mandatory in Colorado from grades kindergarten through 12th grade to prevent school dropout, occurrence which affects everyone in a regressive way. I could go on and on and on, which I didn't come here to hear me. You came here to hear the Honorable Wilma J. Webb. Please.
May be the 7th keynote speaker here today. I certainly feel like I've gone back in history, and it's so refreshing because so much of our inspiration has taken a lower profile here in 2024, and all of this program tonight has been reflective and has been a reminder of where we were, even further back than where we were when I was, of all of the strife that has been addressed, that has been painful, but as the quotation was saying, we are, I want to say, overcoming. We are overcoming. And so when I think of Mr. Michael Williams, did he leave? Oh, he so beautifully played music when South Africa's apartheid was discontinued. And right here in Colorado, in Denver, the national anthem for South Africa was played, and he was a part of it. And I'm seeing echoes of people who have been involved for so long to make a difference in our city, like the city of Boulder, city like the city of Denver, and in our nation, like the United States, and in the world, for which Dr. King had his eye on doing something about the entire world when he was struck down. And so I want to say to you tonight that if you hear me repeating some of what all of these illustrious keynote speakers, whom I feel quite humbled to follow, don't think I'm being unintelligent, but think I'm being inclusive. Because I want to make sure that those who do the work, and Mrs. Coretta Scott King would always say, the appreciation of the work and the life. She would say both of those of Dr. King. But I want to make sure that the work and the commitment of all of the people that you see here tonight on this platform, and all of you who are here who are still concerned about the condition of the world, are recognized and are listened to for what it is that you do to try to make the world a better place. And so let me say, first of all, Dr. Ryland, I hope I'm saying it right, Raylan, Dr. Raylan Rabaka, he only said that he is a student. Now, I know this man. If you all know him, he is a teacher. He is a philosopher. He is a doctor. And I feel honored that so many great people are here in Boulder, and I'm going to share those names with you of some of the people who have come across my life and what I have been trying to do. And to some of the younger people who have come along and who have picked up the banner, because we still have quite a long ways to go. That's right. And it's so wonderful that Boulder will have a highway that goes right in its presence here in Boulder, which will purposefully be a reminder of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., our orator and our humanitarian and our hero who changed the direction of this country, and we owe him a debt of gratitude to try to finish his work. And so I'm glad that I had the opportunity and the pleasure of being what was like a daughter to Mrs. Coretta Scott King. She came here to Denver, and well, she came to Denver. No, we're not here in Denver. She came to Denver, and it was her very first public address. And I think I was about 13 years old, but I'm a musician also, and I was playing the organ. And her first experience of speaking to the public was here in Colorado. And I also had the pleasure of meeting all of her children, Yolanda, the daughter, which has passed away also, was a great friend and partner of Malcolm X's daughter. And I had an opportunity to go to the King Center and to be greeted with a play and a production by both Yolanda and I don't remember which daughter it was, of Malcolm X, where they were presenting and writing plays that affect humanity and that improve humanity. So I had those kinds of experiences that led to my involvement in a more professional way in terms of being elected to office to try to help change things. So thank you so very much for this invitation to address this dedicated and graceful gathering. And I'm going to call you a name. It's going to be a nice name, though. It's not going to be a name like somebody we hear here recently calling people. I am so happy to be here with all of you do-gooders.
Yeah.
Do-gooders. I know that you are here in celebration of the newly proclaimed Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway. I'm reminded of Genesis and the chapters that bring out so vividly the creation of this earth. And every time God would create another day and another part of this world, he would say, "That's good." And so I want to say that the day that the highway, I guess it's 36, was renamed the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway, that God would have said, "That's a good day." So, so today is a good day that is making a pathway for goodwill to occur via a highway which is blessed with the name of the highly acclaimed hero to people all over the world, because he, an humble minister, civil rights leader, son, husband, father, family man, and a leader to people worldwide, was victorious in changing the direction of an entire nation and possibly the world, and he lived longer. Dr. King is certainly worthy of this honor, and today is indeed a very good day. It is a good day in the sense that this highway, in the name of Dr. King, will stand for justice, freedom, and equity for all. This highway further confirms and accentuates the significance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. to the world. Good day to all the people of one of the most beautiful and intellectual cities in the world, and that city is the city and county of Boulder, Colorado. I am very blessed to say that when I served from 1980 to 1993 as a Colorado State Representative, I had the great pleasure of serving with some of the most distinguished elected members of the Colorado General Assembly. The list is one of pride and honor, and I'm very proud to call these men and women my friends. I, as the chief sponsor of the Colorado Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday, had the personal privilege to serve with Boulder elected officials who voted for House Bill 1201, which is the bill that was carried for the Colorado General Assembly to adopt the Colorado Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day as an official holiday. And we had the courage to proceed. The faith and belief in the great memory of our beloved Dr. King, and the perseverance to be successful to pass House Bill 1201 into law. I also had the pleasure of being there when these members and additional sponsors were successful in adopting other significant bills which I believe to be beneficial to the citizens of Colorado. You may know many of these Boulder members of the General Assembly. They are, now I don't know all their record, but I know what they did for 1201. They are Senator Leslie R. Fowler. Do any of you know him? Senator Tom Glass, Senator Ronald K. Stewart, Representative Candace Dyer, Representative Faye Fleming, Representative Sandy Hume, Representative David L. Skaggs, Representative Ruth Wright, and others whom I may have inadvertently omitted. Now, all of these elected officials from the Boulder County area voted in favor of the Dr. King holiday. And you need to know that because that's part of Boulder's history. I also wish current State Representative Junie Joseph a special good day and appreciation and congratulations to her for carrying House Joint Resolution 24-1003, thereby adopting the document to officially name Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway. I am, and I imagine all of us are, so very overjoyed to see this name become a glorious reality. And I'm also glad to see so many current and former elected officials who are from other parts of the state to be here this evening. Now, I've got to say, good day, Mayor Wellington E. Webb. He is the 42nd mayor of the great city and county of Denver, and he happens to be my husband and the love of my life. And who, as a member to his first elected position, that of Colorado State Representative, he carried the first bill to grant Dr. King an official Colorado holiday. And a loving and appreciative good day to all the elected officials who I may not know who they are, but who are serving Boulder today. I extend a warm and appreciative good day to President Todd Solomon, President of the University of Colorado, where students are excelling academically and the Buffs are giving their all to our fantastic Colorado University football winnings. And I would like to say that CU, I went to UCD, everybody. CU is doing its part to improve relationships, not only in Boulder, but throughout the world, as shown this evening through all of the statements and the testimonies that you've heard. So Colorado University is one that is doing its part to try to help to improve the world. You know that Boulder's elected officials have always contributed the highest levels of intellectual and thoughtful service to Colorado citizens. I wish a very good day and best wishes to the members of the Boulder City Council who have meant so much, not only in Boulder, but to the entire state of Colorado. Now, two members who come to mind and served some time ago are Boulder City Councilman Penfield Tate II. Yeah. He was a councilman, but was later elected as mayor of Boulder, receiving more votes than any other candidate in Boulder's history for mayor, and was a well-respected attorney at law, and who was also a Colorado Holiday Commissioner who incorporated our first Martin Luther King Jr. Colorado Holiday Commission. And I would also like to recognize Boulder City Council member Karen Padgett, who was an instructor of political science at the University of Colorado, and where I was a student of hers at UCD. And she also served as Boulder City Council Vice President. And I am really sending a great good day to the exemplary, impactful NAACP Boulder branch, who proves its value every day. I am fortunate to have very great NAACP friends in Annette James, the president of the Boulder branch of the NAACP. And Madeline Strong Woodley and Brian. And they also wished a good day to the NAACP Boulder branch team who continue to fight a valiant fight for justice. And I'm so grateful to the United States and Colorado's Departments of Transportation, without whose leadership and support this dedication would not be happening today. I wish all of them very good day. And I most sincerely extend a very good day to all friends and supporters and citizens who are here to express their admiration for Dr. King and for what is happening here today, and for giving their support for those of us to serve in these illustrious and desired positions. These friends, supporters, and citizens have raised their voices through eagerly exercising their right to vote by voting, which is the most essential right that allows us, the citizens, to be heard, listened to, and to be counted as citizens who matter. If Dr. King were here today, he would strongly advise us as a nation to be sure to vote on November the 5th, up until November the 5th. Because this election could result in being one of the most serious elections, if not the most serious election in our nation's history. He was a great nonviolent warrior for the right to vote, and would compel all of us to vote for, I'm going to say this really gently, to a brilliant lady who is presidential and is truthful and trustworthy and has good character and is a leader by principle and is always saying, and I'm quoting her, "Let me make it clear. I want to be president of the United States for all the people." I have already cast my vote for this lady, and she is none other than the great Kamala Harris. Most of us enthusiastically look to the day when we can call her Madam President. And further, Dr. King would speak with truth and love and tell us unapologetically, do not vote for the candidate who is not at all presidential and is always saying hateful statements and is for himself only, making the world a worse place for all people of the nation and the world. Those of us who knew Dr. King and knew the good of his character know that we as a nation cannot go back to a more unrighteous world. We know what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. worked and gave his life for, and this candidate who is espousing hatred is not a person who cares about all the world's people, as Dr. King and so many others did and continue to do. We're here today because we honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., because he was one of the greatest orators and humanitarians the world has ever had the privilege to know and be so endowed. We still look, and we will always look to him for his relentless, righteous leadership, his unwavering persistence and dauntless courage to endeavor to ensure that justice be served, his adherence to a continual living commitment for the presence of peace to be ever present in our world, and that uncompromising equity be granted to everyone. We are the beneficiaries of that great legacy for our consciences that he left to all of us, including our children, and it is timeless in its meaning. We seriously and joyfully owe Dr. King a huge debt of gratitude for his contribution to each of us individually and collectively for the value of standing for and working for and, if necessary, dying for. As a city, a nation, and the world, we are better than we were because of the legacy that Dr. King left. It is our responsibility to pass this highly moral legacy onto our children and youth. Conscientiousness should not be lost, but it should be lived out every day and passed on to future generations. Our youth, no matter where they may be, need in this world what he worked for and gave his life for, to the greater cause of caring about and doing what is compelling to do in making this world a better place for all people. I am exceedingly glad to be here with all of you today. I am grateful to the City of Boulder, the NAACP, the Colorado and U.S. Departments of Transportation, and certainly to all the citizens who elect our officials and support our public servants, and a special good day and a thank you to all those citizens who serve through voluntary organizations that enrich the lives of all of us. One such person who personified the best in all of us, acclaimed by many to be the greatest orator and humanitarian in the world, and that leader is the great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who gave his life for a cause greater than himself. The presence here today acknowledges and honors him for working and giving his life to make the world a better place. Today, by commemorating this highway, which runs through Boulder, by naming it the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Highway, this beautifully inlaid concrete, asphalt, and paint pathway symbolizes our respect for his life and for what he stood for, and it declares that he is worthy of our respect and admiration for the positive impact he had on all of our lives nationally and worldwide. Because of him, we are better cities, a better state, a better nation, and a better world. It has been reported, and I think we have varying reports, that some 900 streets and byways in the United States have been named for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And worldwide, there are a reported 1,000 streets named in his honor. Congratulations, Boulder, on naming this pathway of endless great possibilities, which will be well traveled by thousands and thousands of travelers throughout our nation. This highway contributes to completing great numbers of both the necessary and joyful destinations for numerous families, essential businesses, dedicated students, deserving vacationers, welcome deliverers, and love-centered and caring good Samaritans, where so many of them will be doing what Dr. King inspired them to do. His charge to us, the beneficiaries of his work and his life, as written and copyrighted by Dr. King in 1967 in his writing, "Where do we go from here? Chaos or community?" Where he includes his passage, the World House. He didn't say the White House and he didn't say any other house. He said the World House. It clearly identifies and defines what our responsibilities are as his beneficiaries to work toward a better world. In Dr. King's message, The World House, Dr. King quoted St. John as follows, and I'm quoting St. John. "Let us love one another, for love is of God. And everyone that loveth is born of God and knoweth God. He that loveth not knoweth not God, but God is love. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us." Today we know what we need to do to make St. John's all right, wasn't he?
Yes, he is.
Today we know what we need to do to make our cities, our states, and our nation, and nations throughout the world a much better place. The world is still in need of so much to improve the lives of its inhabitants, and not to repeat the national and global errors of the past. The world is in our hands. This highway is dedicated in memory of Dr. King, a man who stood for righteousness. We, the beneficiaries, now hold in our hands the success for the survival and progress of future world generations, and we must fulfill the meaning and wisdom of what he stood for the survival and progress of the world's people to occur. So let this highway be a pathway to all the good it can make possible in the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Let's keep on making every day a good day to do good. So I want to thank you very, very much for all the good that you do and that you're going to do. And I thank you so very much for Boulder being a part of what Dr. King stood for. So thank you.